the man is a genius, and you mocked me last episode about my boy being the smartest MC.
He is not.
I'm bringing it back up. I don't care. I'm bringing it back up. I'm bringing it back up. You mocked me last episode for this.
Look, people, he's lost his damn.
But yet my boy just pulls up with this again this episode.
Look.
And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. As always, I'm your host, Ace.
And I'm your host, McMillian.
And we are back for another wonderful week of anime with episode 26. But as always, if you'd like to become a part of the council and join me and McMillian as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our audio-only platforms and follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. And with that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. Yeah, there he goes doing this once again. Stop it, sir. We done talked about this.
Hey, I need to sync up the audio.
We done talked about this.
Just keep going.
But anyways, McMillian, how are you doing? I didn't speak to you much this weekend.
I'm doing good.
Doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I got my brother visiting me. So he's draining my money. But other than that, I'm fine.
That's good. Should tell that little motherfucker don't come on vacation if you ain't got no money. But no, I feel you. It's always nice to see family, so that's good. You getting to spend some time with your brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That is good. So, all right, everybody, we're going to, as always, you know how we do things over here. We're going to start us off with some council announcements. With our first council announcement being, I'm going to remind everybody that our Bubble movie review is out now on all of our wonderful little platforms that we have here. So if you have not had a chance to go and watch that, please do me a favor, go check it out. We would love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, this one is moving off from our regular reviews. We have a non-spoiler and a spoiler section. So if you have not seen it, this one is safe to see. I know normally our movie reviews are just us talking about what happened in general, but this one we separated it.
Correct. And speaking of movie reviews, definitely for our next movie review, we're going to be changing up the format here. I'm not going to tell you what that format is. Just have to find out when we do our next movie review. Mm-hmm. Moving on from there, our next house announcement. We are now officially on Facebook, everybody. So you can go follow our Facebook page at Gurren Otaku Council. It's been we actually had this page for a hot little second, but we just ain't been using it. But we're gonna finally start using this bad boy and just help get the word out there. So if you have a Facebook page and you want to follow us on Facebook, then by all means, please go and follow us on there. Moving on from there, we finally fucking got it. The season 3 announcement of Fire Force. How you feeling, McMillian?
I am feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm ready for it to come back. I'm wondering, will this be the final arc of the series, or will we have one more season for the final?
I don't think so. Considering how the manga just ended not too long ago, I don't think this is the final season. But was this one of the animes that you read the manga for, or are you an anime only for this?
I've read Fire Force partially through.
Okay.
I did not read it all the way, so this is not one I know about. But I do know that the manga finished while this was in production. So I'm just wondering, like, were they working towards the finale, or was there like, all right, stopping point here, and then we're going to come back for season 4? I'm hoping that after the Fire Force is done, though, that we get that whoever is doing Fire Force is like, all right, we're going to redo Soul Eater, and then get that way we have something to watch while we wait for Soul World, which is supposed to be.
Are you saying just like a reimagining of Soul Eater, or
no, a remake of the anime?
You just want them just like a completely different story? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. Well, it technically would be, because the anime after a certain point stopped following the manga. So Soul Eater remake that follows the actual story.
Oh, okay. So you basically you wanted to give it the full Metal Alchemist treatment.
Yes,
basically.
FMAB treatment all the way.
Okay.
Because people need to. Because I don't know about our viewers or you. After Soul Eater was done, was like, that don't seem right.
No. Trust me, I didn't know that it deviated from the manga, but definitely when I watched the ending, I was like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
Like you bullshit me. It's no way then you give us the series that is Soul Eater and all the different action packed moments that is in this shit,
and it ends with that,
and then you end it like this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was like, man, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
This is your
I
public.
mean, it's still one of my favorite series though. But yes, I am pissed about the ending.
So
I'm pissed.
That's belabored point. But if you've seen Soul Eater, and read it just in case they don't give us the remake. Perfect Service Announcement. It's a really good series, and they're coming out in perfect editions right now, so it's really good to like collect. They're really nice.
I mean, don't get us wrong. The anime is still good. I will say watch it.
Oh yeah, no, watch it. If you have not seen it, do still watch it. I will say that the anime is good. I mean, the ending is going to disappoint you regardless, but do watch. It's a good series. It is one of the best anime openings ever as well. So
correct. Both the first OP and the second OP. Man, we not gonna get started. We're not gonna get started. we gotta go because I'll go down to a rabbit hole. I actually got the second OP on my phone.
Hey,
I think it's Paper Moon.
Yeah,
that shit
good.
slaps.
It's that good.
That shit slaps. Paper Moon slaps. But anyways, our next announcement we have another one we've been waiting on for a long time. Mob Psycho Season 3 has finally been announced, everybody. It has been announced for this October 2022, and it is now official. The fall season of 2022 is officially stacked.
It's
like this shit is finna be wild.
It's unfair, honestly, how good the fall season of 2022 is about to be for anime, and I think for gaming as well, because we have a whole bunch of my work is going to suffer tremendously when it comes to the fall of the season. That's all I know. Yeah, but Mob Psycho is like one of my favorite new gen type of shows. It's just really good. So I can't wait to see what they're doing for season 3, because the trailer looked crazy, and I'm pumped.
Yes, I did watch the trailer as well. Like you said, that shit was wild. I love how they still have that big ass broccoli tree in the back. I was like, yes, it makes me feel like we just left us yesterday. Mm-hmm. He was still there. But I'm waiting for this to come back, because I can't remember if somebody recommended Mob Psycho to me or if it was just one of those random ones I picked up. But nonetheless, when I started watching, I was like, where has this been all my life? Mm-hmm. This shit is good. And I was even watching it in the dub. The dub for this show is good as hell. I've actually been watching a lot of dubbed anime recently, surprisingly.
Like I've been saying, dubbed more so recently actually has been very solid. I cannot dispute that. That's why now when I see people who are like, dub is trash, I'm like, you're not watching newer dubs. You can't be, because you would not.
Can't be. Yeah. The old dub is trash.
Yeah, old dubs
it's very select few dubs in the old generation that are good. Mm-hmm. But like you said, a lot of this new generation dubs are very good. I've been watching a lot of dubbed anime recently when I have to binge stuff for the podcast and whatnot. When watching a lot of stuff in dub. Mm-hmm. So it's been a good time. Speaking of dubbed anime, I started watching Fate Zero. Been enjoying it so far. I didn't know where to start with. I looked up a whole bunch of different shit online. I was like, I was just at the end of the day, I just said, fuck it.
I told you,
I'm gonna just start with Fate Zero.
You start with Zero, and then you go. I'll tell you where you need to go after that. There are certain side stuff that you don't necessarily have to like.
Yeah. From looking at stuff online, I can tell it's a pretty convoluted ass timeline. I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
When I was just like, when I saw that tweet, I was like, oh, he's undertaken a thing that I don't know, a beast that I have no idea if he knows the full weight of. So, because I'm not even caught. Like, for instance, there's a Grand Order series right now, and I'm not even caught up with that. I just know that it's good. Like, it's good, and eventually I'll get there. But these the podcasts and the other my other extracurriculars are keeping me pretty busy. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and I think that's one of the hard things I'm having time with right now is just watching other animes that I'm not watching for the podcast, just watching stuff in general, just because I want to. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finally start Fate. It's been in the quay for a long time. I'm gonna finally go ahead and start it up, and that's what I did, and I've been enjoying it so far.
Nice.
But yeah. So that is the end of our council announcements, everybody. So thank you all for coming for the council announcements. I might start posting these as separate little videos on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't thought about that just finally, officialized that just yet, but it was just been a thought I had. But anyways, that is the end of our council announcement. So we're going to move into our regular episode that we have here for today, and we're going to switch up our order. Thank you, sir. I'm going to switch up our order we have here for today, and we are going to start with Anju gets reincarnated as a wife,
Oh my god.
who's also an assassin,
Oh, speaking of which, I
also
forgot.
formerly known as Spy Family.
Yes, but the sidebar. Did you know that Anju's voice actress is also the voice actress for Shinobu from
See,
Demon Slayer? Okay, because I was
see.
like, okay,
I
this girl
found
just
that
working.
out. Yeah, I found that out when I found that she was the voice actress for
Mm.
Anju. I found both of those information out of the same. She's also a voice actress for somebody. She actually voices a lot of fucking characters,
Yeah, she working.
and it's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's working. And when I realized it, I was like, I wonder why I didn't pick that up in all these other animes I watch. I probably only picked it up from '86 because I had just recently got done watching it. It was just like, there she go. Like I can hear it, but I missed it in all the other ones that she voices for. So, but no, she's a really talented voice actor.
Yep.
But anyways, I'm gonna let our friend McMillian here give our
Just
summary
description.
for episode 6.
Okay.
And I do not have the title for this one, so I'm
Oh,
gonna need you to
it's
get the title.
title is Friendship Scheme.
Thank you, sir.
So in this episode, this titular episode, Anya finally goes to school for the first time. When this happens, or when she gets basically her first day, her and Yor have a little shopping trip beforehand to get her, you know, her uniform and things situated, as well as Yor is trying to be more of a mother. I'm gonna come back to that storyline because while that's happening, Lloyd gets more information on Operation Strix, which is now moved into the second phase. Which being that Anya must either A, get Anya to a level of scholar in her school that Lloyd is almost 100% sure she cannot do, or
I'm right along with him.
or she has to befriend his targeted son, and that way he can infiltrate their house and befriend them and get the information he needs. Um, we'll go back to that. So during Anya and yours, little trip, the her uniform and things goes fine, but Anya finds out that apparently there's a lot of dangerous things that happen at the school, such as kidnappings and hazing and bullying. And she gets a little scared to go to school, but she's really enjoying wearing her uniform. So when Yor takes her out shopping, she's wearing her uniform, showing it off to everyone. And lo and behold, Anya gets almost kidnapped again. But thank Mom Assassin, Yor immediately basically obliterates the people that had taken her hostage. And I think she dynamic entry somebody, and then immediately after, threatened other people, and they were just like, "Hey, you good, you got it," and they left. And then we
Yeah,
follow
you
Anya.
better leave it to her. But before you leave this storyline to continue the summary, one thing I do want to point out is the fact how we got some more world building in this episode with the fact that some of the students are actually being kidnapped and stuff like that from the
Mhm.
prestigious school of Eden, as well as even that a lot of the students who live in the dorms don't like the students who commute to the
Mhm.
school, which is I guess they feel like they're more prestigious than them because they actually have the money to afford to live in the dorms rather than have to commute and stuff like
That
that.
could be
I
that.
just thought
Yeah.
that those were nice little world building moments that
Yeah.
that we don't normally get in this anime, but they gave them to us today.
Yeah, so we just, that's general information about Eden. So we now fast forward to the Eden part of the episode, and basically, Lloyd has orchestrated so that Anya is in class with the guy's son, who's named Damien. Right? It's Damien, I think.
Yeah, Damien, that's
Okay,
his
I'm just
name.
making sure because I'm like, that's also Batman's son
Sir
name.
Damien.
Um, so Anya and him meet, and Anya is very non-impressed with this guy, and Damon can pick it up immediately to the point where he's like, "I'm gonna bully her because she's not showing me enough attention or respect." To the point where Anya ends up punching him full force in the face, like knocking him halfway across that hallway, um, and gets her first demerit um, at the school. And I'll before we close out with the summary, I'll just go into some information. So there are the demerits within Eden are called Centaur-nitrous bolts. Apologize if I mispronounce that. That's
you did better than me because I was just gonna call them lightning bolts. You better
yeah,
than me.
and apparently to get expelled from the school, you need 8. Anya got 1 only because of the housemaster who was a part of her interview was like, oh, she punched Damien for her friend. That's not why she punched her, but and for Anya to become a scholar, she'll need 8 Stella, which are like these star things, and so she's already got one
They're
in
stars,
one.
sir. They're not
Yeah,
star things. They are stars.
well, they're star stickers. I mean, they're star stickers, whatever. The bolts, but the thing is, so we end off on the episode with her having one check mark off, basically, in the expulsion zone.
Correct. So, now that you got that out the way, I want to touch back on a topic that you mentioned earlier. How Lord doesn't think Anya will basically become an artist student. Do you feel the same way that as Lloyd does, or do you have faith in Anya
For
that she can become an Anya student?
Look, I would love to tell you, yes, I would, I truly would, but this girl has not said hello right in like the first 6 episodes. She always is mispronouncing something. Not saying that I don't got faith that she can get better, but becoming an honor student might be a stretch. I think she'll be a good student, but an honor if she's getting the honor student stuff by traditional means, it's gonna take a minute. All right.
Yeah, no, I think if she gets there, she's gonna have to use her psychic abilities to her full capabilities. Goddamn, like she's gonna have them bitches on at all times. Like
exactly.
she gonna become Professor X in this motherfucker. Goddamn,
100%.
That's the only way I could see her becoming an artist student is she just overly use her psychic, her telekinesis abilities and just cheat her ass off basically.
Yep.
Or just use it in a way where she studies for different type of situations. But anyways, that's my only way I think she's getting it. The only other way I see her actually helping out in this little phase 2 we are going on here is even though it looks like that, well, it's not looks like that, even though that her friendship with Damien has started off to a rocky little area here, they made a connection. At least may not have been a good one, but they made a connection. So we know that they're going to have more interactions in the future to where it could potentially lead to them hopefully
friends.
better in their connection and actually becoming friends and not enemies.
Exactly.
So I think that may be the route that it goes, but once again, I wouldn't be surprised if she still did become an honor student because of her psychic abilities.
Mm-hmm. I like all I say is on her general skill alone, it's gonna be tough. But if she's using her psychic abilities and the information that her father provides her, she might have a chance.
No, she might. I mean, I forgot about that as well. Lloyd does have his his intels and stuff like that he can tap into.
Yep,
his connections, if you will. I forgot about that because he got the answers for the test the first time. You know what? That might be our second option here.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. But all right, so we're gonna move on to our dislikes now for Spy Family episode 6. And me personally, I don't think I had one for this episode. Trying to think. Nope, not one coming to thought. You got anything for me, Million?
No, they don't. I don't know if I'll ever have one for this anime.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say I'll never have one because.
But
nothing's perfect.
Nothing's perfect. I'm just wondering, will my dislikes be actual dislikes and not nitpicks? Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, because I think the first one that you did have, it wasn't a dislike; it was a nitpick for last.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Not what was that, episode 5, where you was like you wanted to see Lloyd and Yor fight more.
No, I was like, okay, we only got to see Yor on the offensive, so I was like, I would like to see what that would have looked like. But eventually, I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line, we're going to get that Mr. and Mrs. Smith moment of like, oh,
we're going to get it.
We're both on a mission, but they don't know who they are. They're like in disguise. We're going to get it.
No, see, I think if we don't get it that way, we're going to get it where they just both see each other out and they're going to do the Spider-Man pose. Like, you're supposed to be at home. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. But I feel like that's like a near series end thing because the way comedies, they be like teasing tease it. They'll tease that part, but they won't show it to like the end. So who
Yeah, no, I
knows?
feel you.
But yeah, no, I don't really got nothing. I don't know. Like I said, I doubt that I'll remain forever without a dislike. But I just feel like my dislike would be a stretch on an nitpick. But moving, I guess, into favorite scenes. Since you brought up Lloyd's thing about not liking, or not having much faith in Anya, when he got told that and he was like, "Hello, anxiety, my old friend," I died laughing because I was just like, "I feel you, I feel you. Me and you are right here." Because that was just, I was like, that is the most relatable moment I've seen Lloyd have.
Yeah, because I think that also came right after he had just got through talking to one of his handlers, and she was like, "You're our best spy we got." And then we go to his next scene. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling this right here.
Yeah, I'm not feeling. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm not gonna tell them that.
Basically, like they don't need to know that though. But me to me, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
Oh man. I posted about this on Twitter last week, but one of my favorite scenes is just the smug face Anya. That shit was hilarious.
I did think I said I started reading Spy Family before like the show, like way before. But that I remembered that face, and I was like, I hope it's as funny as when I first saw it, and it was. They really delivered well with how much dramatization they gave to it. Because I was like, yes, the smug smile that she thought she was genuinely giving a sincere smile. That was great.
Oh no, hilarious! You can't hate Anya. Can't hate her. You got any more?
The dynamic entry part.
Before you go too deep, we have made so many Naruto references for your. It's starting to get ridiculous at this point.
Hold on, when you started when you did it after my Neji one, it was set in stone. I don't know if it's going to happen every episode, but she needed to just stop fighting at this point because I'm gonna just find something every time because that was basically dynamic entry. I mean, like she legit.
It was it.
Well, she didn't catch him with a foot. I think it was a knee, but still, she came out of
Close
nowhere
enough.
and hit him full force, no mercy, with her leg. That's enough for me.
She did. Then right as she did that, she broke a pumpkin in half. A pumpkin, or I'm gonna call it a pumpkin because I can't recall what it was. So I'm dubbing it a pumpkin. She broke it in half in one hit, and that shit was wild as well. Like people gonna learn to stop messing with your. I don't know if they learned yet, but they're gonna learn.
They're gonna stop messing with
leave that lady alone.
They're gonna stop messing with their whole family.
To leave that lady alone. And then I saw this. I saw speaking of your, I saw another tweet online. I think it was either today or yesterday. Somebody mentioned that Lloyd is suspicious of everybody, but he doesn't find it suspicious that your fucking took out this cow in 2 hits like it was nothing.
Again, the only thing, that's why when you brought up like the rant of people not liking Spy Family, I was like, the only thing you could say is those small inconsistencies, but it is a comedy. It's supposed to have those little inconsistencies. So.
Oh man. And then of course, my last favorite scene I got here for today is right after we got the smug face Anya. Damien was talking shit to Anya, and she wasn't having none of that. And after she learned some moves from her mother, she put that moves to work to use, and she rocked the shit out of Damien, sent his ass flying. I was like, yo, one day if Real can teach somebody to do this in 1 day of training, she's the best sensei out there.
I mean, granted, she was fighting a child, but still, yes. 100%. No one's messing with her after today. So my last favorite scene, while I love that one, my last one was, I think, when the kids were bullying Anya and they were calling her ugly, and Becky, who became Anya's like first friend, this other girl, was like, she might be ugly, but she's my friend or some shit. I was like, oh my god.
I can't believe I forgot about that one. But she was like, she may not be as pretty as me, but she's still
I was like, Becky, no, but I thought I thought that was so funny
It's
because I was like, this is 100% something a child would say. This is 100%
yes.
something a
It's
child
even
would do.
more funny because she basically just imprinted herself onto Anya because she was just like she looked at Anya. She was like, "Oh, she's cute. I could take her under my wings.
I could I could raise her.
I can change her." Yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. She basically just dubbed herself her friend.
Yeah,
Goddamn, I was like, yeah.
from what I remember from the manga, Becky is a trip, so I'm kind of glad that she's here.
Oh no, I can already tell just from these small interactions. Is that first of all? Is that lady? Is that girl name you call her Becky? Because
Yeah, no, it's
I don't
I
remember her
believe
name.
it's
Okay,
Becky. I hope that's what I
I don't
have
know. I
on
don't
my
know.
notes.
So I'm gonna hope it's Becky because I don't know what that child name
I hope
is.
I'm not just calling it that for no reason.
But okay. Well, all right, Becky. We're gonna see if your name is actually Becky in the next episode because I don't know. I forgot. I'm sorry. I apologize. But you are a funny character though. But moving on to our rating for episode 6, and I will give it a solid 7. Nothing too crazy about this episode, but we are moving on into the next phase of Lloyd's mission we got here, as well as, like I said earlier, we did get some more world building with the lore we got about Eden College today. So that was nice. But solid 7.
Yeah,
And you just can't beat Smugface on you. That shit is hilarious.
one.
You're gonna be seeing that everywhere. I'm letting you know now.
Oh
You're gonna
damn!
be seeing Smugface on you
That's
everywhere.
a reaction image.
Yes,
It's in my phone. I don't know about
and it's
everybody
and it's
else's.
more than one. It's more
Oh
than
yeah,
one.
it's in my phone. I don't know about everybody else's, but it should be in your phones too. Yeah, this episode is a solid 7. I don't think it's nothing more nor less. It was funny. It was serviceable. It wasn't as crazy. I feel like as the last couple of episodes have been, and that's probably why it's 7. But it was good nonetheless. So, Spy Family always
I
delivers.
I agree. Like we always said, when you hit that play button on Spy Family, you know you're gonna have a good time. So if you have not been watching Spy Family, are you under a rock?
Probably.
Are you under a rock? Or you just one of those people that just try to be different?
Yeah.
You know.
Comedy anime is not everybody's thing. I don't know how, but hey.
I mean, I will give you that, but this is a rare exception, though. This is a rare exception.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rare exception. But that is the end of our Spy Family segment, everybody. Let us know down below in the comments what do you think about Spy Family, specifically episode 6. But I mean, I guess as well as Spy Family in general. And we're going to move on next to Shield Hero, episode 6, and title Please Million, because I don't have
Racing
the
to
title
catch
for any
up.
of these today. Thank you, Racing to catch up. And then before we go any further, we have to give a round of applause to fucking Shield Hero because this is where it's at, everybody. We waited 6 episodes, but we finally got one.
Finally.
This is it. This episode was it. I don't know where this type of action was at this entire first half of this season, but I'm glad it was here. I'm glad we didn't go through this entire season feeling like we just didn't get not one single episode that was worth watching. We finally got that one episode that was worth watching. It was it, episode 6. Now whether they can keep that up for the rest of the season, that is
Who
to be
knows?
determined. But at least we finally got one. I can say that at least we got us one. So moving on into our summary, once again, I'm gonna hand it off to our friend McMillian here.
Yeah. So I mean, this was in terms of content, it had a lot, but it was more so fighting than recap stuff. So I'll just start off. We find out the Cardinal Heroes we technically found this out at the end of the last episode, but Cardinal Heroes were captured, and they're being used as fuel. Apparently, I guess that's what helped the turtle regenerate faster. But I just gotta say, how sorry are the other 3 heroes that they got captured with no
Yeah,
issue?
now we had this conversation off camera, and I can't remember if you was there or not. I think you was there, but there's no way he took all 3 heroes on at the same time, right? There's just no way,
No,
right?
no. I'm assuming what happened is they did it individually. I would hope,
That's the
and that
same.
they
That's the
did
same
get,
thing I
and that
said.
they did not get snuck by some spirit tortoise familiars based on how easy they went down for Naofumi and them.
That's what I said as well. But then somebody also made the statement that Lark was able to technically beat them by themselves, and I was like, while that may be true, they have gotten stronger since that moment. And the book, first of all, the book vessel just this man just got whooped by Risha. We're gonna get to
We
that,
gonna get
but
to
this man
that.
just got whooped by
We will
Risha.
get to that.
So it's no way in hell that this man took on all 3 Cardinal heroes. Not all 3, the other 3 Cardinal heroes together by himself. There's no way in hell.
I don't. I Yeah, they need to explain that to me. But
one they ain't even got to explain it. They just got their ass captured. I'm just saying is. Me personally, 1v1, he just took him down one at a time.
I can believe it.
That's very believable to me.
I would
I have no
my
qualms.
only
that.
thing is the only other capable hero that I probably need an explanation for would be the sword hero. Because while he's not the brightest, he's
the strongest out
he's
of
been
the
shown
all of them.
yeah, he's been shown to be the most capable. It's just that he does not think of the consequences of his actions, which is what like Naofumi said. Because he doesn't. I don't think he has a party that he travels with. Because
I actually
because I don't remember.
I think he does have a party actually. Because if you remember correctly, in season 1, there was a scene where
Well,
Nafumi was training in a field, and then the bow hero and him pulled up, and the sword hero also pulled up at the same time. He was like, "You know what the hell y'all doing? I'm training here."
did he have a
And I think
party
he
then?
has some, and I think he has some people with him. Then I'm not
Okay, I don't
100%. I'm
remember.
not 100% sure,
But I could have
but
sworn
I
at
think he has
one.
some people with him. Then
Okay, I don't remember, but I could have sworn at one point in time in the first season that he abandoned. He was like, "They're holding me back." So
I wouldn't doubt it though. I wouldn't doubt
we'll
it.
have to check on that. But regardless,
Yes.
they got captured. I'm assuming as well with you, Ace, that it was one by one because I
Yes.
can't I
It's
doubt.
I don't listen. Anybody that can get whooped by Risha is no way in hell taking on 3 Cardinal heroes together. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill.
But moving from that, we get the moment the spirit torch comes back, it's like, oh man, all hope is lost. But lo and behold, we got giant chicken goddess Victoria popping up on the
Pulling up to the
scene,
scene.
and my God, was she OP? I was like, now granted, I knew she was the queen of the Phiolians, I think. Philolies.
Philolius. I don't know. That's a hard ass word to
It
say.
is. But I knew she was a queen, but I just didn't know, I guess, the capacity of what she could do. And now that I have some mind, it's insane. It's crazy.
Filolio?
Filolio?
Filolio.
Okay, Filolio.
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 Yeah,
Okay.
L. Filolio.
Yeah, no. Victoria showing up totally changed the tide of battle. It was crazy. From that point, we basically get the book hero dominating basically the shield hero's whole team using gravity magic, except due to, I guess they say it was key control, Risha was able to boss up, if you will, and take the fight to the book. Take the fight to the book hero, allowing Naofumi's team and Lark's team to steel themselves for the next part of the fight, basically. Because while Risha was fighting the book hero, the head and the heart, well, I mean, they've already regenerated, but basically, the teams had to coordinate their attacks between taking out the head and the heart together. Victoria was handling the head, and the heart was going to be handled by Lark and his team, and then now Fumi was supposed to take out the core. After they get back up, they go ahead to like obviously the respective moments, and after they kill the head and the heart, now Fumi activates his rage shield and aims it at Os. Well, not aims at Os, but the core of the turtle. Unfortunately, apparently, we find out that the rage, if Naofumi has no rage in his heart for the opponent that he's using the shield on, it does not work. Which I thought was interesting because I figured it was just like his general anger at first, based on how like it was used last season. But apparently, he has to have some type of hatred towards
the person.
Towards the person.
Yeah.
And and at that moment, what's his name? The book hero, Kyo, is like, "Oh shit, I won! You can't do it." And Osta's like, "Well, here you go." And she gives Naofumi basically the power
about that.
So yeah, basically about that, she gives Naofumi her force. She force activates a new shield from Naofumi's shield called the I think it's
Spirit.
Yeah, just Spirit
the
Torch,
Spirit Tortoise's heart shield.
Yeah, and it gives him wings and has all this whole setup and stuff. And basically, it can shoot out giant lasers, in which it did to kill Ost and the turtle. I was not expecting that. I knew that. I remembered that Naofumi's shield can like absorb anything. Will absorb like things and then create another shield from what it absorbs. I just didn't
Mm-hmm.
know that there was going to be a divine divine beast relation to it, and that
Now,
he
I got a lot of stuff to discuss about this episode, but I'm gonna let you finish this summary though.
okay, and yeah, that was just interesting. Moving forward, Kyo escapes using the stolen soul energy that he still had. Uh, Lark and his team chase after him, and now Fumi's team tries to at first, but can't until Os bends the rules of the world to allow them to chase after him under this certain condition. And that's where we basically end the episode at.
Yep, that's what we're ending the episode at. And I want to start us about saying is once again, the Otaku Boys was right. We are going to another world sooner than later, everybody. Let's fucking get it.
Yeah.
Like I did that is one thing that I did not expect to happen to the season, though we theorized it earlier in the season that now the possibility is open now, for since they can go to other worlds, can our heroes go to other worlds?
And we found out that technically
here we are.
Yeah, true. But we did. But it was good though in a way because we technically found out under normal circumstances they can't leave.
Yes, they can't. Yeah,
it is not something natural to them. But they come in to run the fate. so Kyo better watch out because he got his ass beat by Risha. Now it's like unless his book is stronger in the other world, I don't.
In his world, yeah.
I don't know how much of a chase this is going to be. But I'm interested to see how long I guess the season is going to take place in this other world, like how many episodes.
Well, then also you got to remember is since he is one of the heroes, he technically could have his own party as well in the other world.
Oh, you know,
so there's that factor as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because you forget about that because technically they came over here, but his whole team probably couldn't make it. So that is something to worry about. Wow. I think that might answer my other question because I was like, I was going to ask how long do you think they might be spending time in this other world?
And I think for the rest of the season they're going to be in the other world.
I didn't think that at first, but you pointed out, oh, he could have a party, and I was like, well, shit, that. that might make it a little lengthy or something like that.
There we go. Like we might get some good action here when these coming up. We should, at least that's what I'm hoping, that we're going to be getting some more good action episodes because we're going to another world to fight a motherfucker now. So hopefully that's going to bring out some more good action episodes. But one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, so we finally got. I'm not calling it a full redemption. I'm calling it a small redemption. We got a small redemption from Risha this episode. We was also talking about this off camera and stuff like that. But do you think that Risha will end up going back and joining the Bow Heroes party, or do you think she's going to stay with Nafumi? Me personally, I think she's going to stay with Nafumi's party.
I don't know. I thought Melty. Yeah, Melty. I thought the little sister. That's the little sister, right? Melty. I thought Melty was going to stay, and then she didn't. So
I mean, technically, she's just not a part of the expedition party, if you will. She's still a part of the party because she's at the village,
quote unquote. Well, no, she's in the town. She's the
village.
Is she in the village? I thought she was with her mom.
She's at the Shields Hero village.
Oh, I thought she was with her mom, and then she would go and heal people. I thought that was what it was. Well, I guess she's in the party still. Like, I don't know. But I thought she was going to remain, and travel with him. Now, I guess if we're counting that, then Risha probably will. I just don't know if she'll be like full.
Well, hold on. Well, let me clarify this. From how it looks of episode 1, unless I'm just completely mistaken here, from the way I watched the episode, it was from my understanding, she's at the Shield Heroes village. If she's not at the Shield Hero village, then I completely misinterpreted that.
Okay, because I thought that Melty was just working to help heal people in the kingdom.
Correct.
I didn't think she was in the village. But basically, I'm on the fence about it. I think she'll be there longer than we expect, but I think ultimately she will go back to the Bow Hero because she's still dedicated to him. Unless there's something that breaks that, I don't think
she will. I just feel like she's building too much of a connection with Nafumi's party to just up and leave them.
I mean, you could say that, but a lot of animes would be like, the characters spend some time with this person, and then they got to walk their own road. I mean, you're a One Piece watcher. I thought that little boy, when I watched One Piece, because I've seen enough of it, the little boy who has pink hair who became a Marine. I thought he was going to join Luffy's crew and be like Luffy, like Junior, but he didn't. So
I feel you.
So I feel like maybe for a time longer than we expected, but I think eventually she'll just go back to the boat hero because unless something happens that fully severs that connection. I think that's her guy.
Well, we just have to agree to disagree on this one.
Hey, that's fine.
I just think she's gonna stay with Nafomi on this one. But my next question that I had was, do you think this is the end of the Wrath Shield? I kind of got like two questions mixed in this one.
In my opinion, no, I don't think. I think it is going to be okay. I have to find a new attack source type shield because the Wrath one was the one he did really for most of his like fight. Like if he had to fight, that thing was coming out.
Yeah.
But now 100%. He knows that if he doesn't have like actual anger towards like this situation or like the person he's aiming his attack at, it will probably use less. We might see it use it, but I don't think it's the end of it.
Okay. Okay.
Because I think most of his enemies, I would hope so, unless they're about to start throwing allies at him, that he'd still be able to use it against them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the reason why I asked that because when Oath gave him Oath gave him the shield heart shield, the heart shield rather, not the shield heart shield. Oh my god, my words today. When she gave him the heart shield, she made a statement that you no longer have to use that other shield, and be consumed by anger and rage and stuff like that.
I thought that was more of saying like you don't have to do that to. Well, I mean, I guess you could look at it and say like, oh, this is like forever. But I was more so thinking like, oh, he no longer has to resort to it. That's how I interpreted it. Like that he doesn't have to resort to
he doesn't have to resort to using the Wrath Shield anymore because.
Well, I didn't think it was like now. I didn't think it was like a thing like, oh, you can't use it anymore. More so just like,
well, no, no, 100%, no. Yes, he can still use it, but like I said, it was just more of like you don't have to because when he uses that shield, it puts a strain on his body, and stuff like that.
But I don't think it's gonna be the last time because I think situations, for instance, when the Wave Heroes again fight him, that was like his one trump card, unless the Spirit Tortoise. I feel
you, but now he has the heart shield though.
There is one thing about that shield that I think is going to be a big problem. Mm-hmm. It seems like it has to charge up and has a long start sequence to do the beam. I'm just saying, based on this episode alone, that looks like a liability more so than a help. Because of how long.
But the shit had wings, McMillian.
But we don't know if he can fly with it or if it was just used to stabilize him to shoot. I'm just saying we don't know all of it yet. But based on this episode, it looks like a liability more than a superior to the rest.
Okay. I don't know about liability.
Because I see where you're coming from. It has legs. I see where you're coming from. It looks like its main operation is the beam. But it is a divine beast weapon. I mean, not weapon, divine beast shield. So it probably has more than meets the eye. Like it could probably fly. I'm just saying, I'm erring on the side of caution of what I do know. And what I do know right now is that it has a long ass beam.
It has a fat ass beam. That's what you know as of right now. All right, and then my last question that I had here for this, like I said, because I had like a 2-in-1 for this, with the arrival of the heart shield, do you think in a sense that Nafomi is now the Spirit Tortoise?
No, I don't think he's a Spirit Tortoise. I just think he has. I think it's like when he was absorbing.
Not necessarily like the Spirit Tortoise itself, but like he embodies like the spirit of the Spirit Tortoise to kind of speak. Because like
I don't think
because like even though Os is dead, it's almost like him having that shield is still like having
when you say
the Spirit Tortoise in the world.
Well, I guess I should ask. So when you say embody, do you mean like he's carrying it along? Like in a way, it's a sense of like duty. Like I have the spirit of a friend, because Os was technically the physical embodiment of the tortoise. Like, you mean that, or it's more of like
something like that. Basically, like
in the shield is the spirit of the tortoise. So is that what you're saying?
Basically,
okay. I don't think that is the case because it just looked like Os poured energy into it and not necessarily her essence, which I feel like would have been a totally different type of animation. So I don't think it necessarily is carrying the spirit of the tortoise, but I do think like in Naofumi, considering I think Os is gone now. I'm pretty sure she's like dead.
Yeah,
I think he's going to carry the fact of like a comrade died in the process of giving him this new power.
I mean, I guess the reason why I'm asking that is because instead of, they could have named the shield a lot of stuff. They could have just named it straight up, Spirit Tortoise Shield. But instead, they specifically named it Spirit
Towards
Tortoise
heart
Heart
shield.
Shield.
But I thought
And
that was more of
so,
a reference to the fact that Ost is symbolically the spirit tortoise's heart, like its actual
exactly.
heart.
And so, I mean, yeah. And so, in that sort of speaking, it's almost like she passed not necessarily passed the mantle of the being the Spirit Tortoise on um to Nafomi, but it's almost like, the Spirit Tortoise is no longer here, but you are here now. Though you have this shield now. If something still like if some, it's almost like he's the backup plan for the waves now. In a sense, it's basically what I'm trying to say. Like, if
Oh,
all else fails,
I mean,
motherfucker, we got Nafomi.
I could technically see this.
Nafomi.
That could have been symbolism for the show because he is technically the backup. He's not the backup plan, but he is a dude that's like, I'm keeping the Cardinal Heroes in check. None of them niggas doing a job. I'm out here doing protecting the world against slavery from happening. Like, he has technically always been the quote unquote backup / plan
Correct.
to the solution. So that I believe symbolically that's not wrong. I do believe, but I don't think necessarily that he is that the shield,
quote unquote,
yeah,
like
is
the next spirit. Yeah. Like you said, like the shield doesn't necessarily embody like this is a fucking spirit tour. It's like, I give it. Yeah. Yeah. It was just a question I had because, like I said, I just thought that it was kind of like, basically I'm looking at the wordplay they was using. They specifically used spirit toward his heart, and I was like, okay, well, does that mean like she basically kind of almost transferred the heart to his shield? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I felt like
something like that.
I just felt like that was because the power itself was technically coming from the hearts, so to say,
I feel you.
of the spirituals.
Yeah.
So moving on from a recap and discussion, we're going to our dislikes.
How you know I was done?
I didn't. Oh, were you not done? You said you had 2 parts. Was that not the second part?
How you know I was done? I could have been done. I mean, I think I I am done though. But how you know I was done?
I assumed because you said 2 parts. Going into our dislikes, I didn't really have one for this episode, other than I guess I would have liked to have known how he took out the 3 heroes, but I was more in my head. I'm like, okay, if it's 1-on-1s, I don't think that he could have. That it's impossible to say he could have got the jump on them because of the fact that he could generate familiars. And also, he's a vassal here. He himself is a hero. So
yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, that like I mentioned earlier, I don't think it's not impossible at all for him to take those heroes 1v1. I just 3v1, hell no. But him going around 1v1 and all of them, yes, I think he'd easily take that.
If I had any dislike, it's probably the nitpick of like I guess we don't get to know for sure how he did it, but I'm not too big of a fan of the 3 other heroes. Who cares how you did it?
So who cares about it?
Yeah, like
I feel you. I feel you.
Did you have any?
Shit, for as far as I'm concerned, Raptalia could be the damn sword hero. As far as I'm concerned,
shit, you're probably not wrong. I wouldn't know, but yeah. Any dislikes for you?
No. Like I said, they finally got him one with this episode. So no, I have no dislikes for Shield Hero.
Took some 6 episodes, but they did it.
I guess if you say it'll be a dislike for that, other than it took them 6 episodes to get here. But no, for this episode specifically, no, I don't have any dislikes.
Yeah, no. So we'll go into our likes. I'll start off.
Our favorite scenes.
Yeah, our favorite scenes, not our likes. But I mean, you could argue our likes. But favorite scene. This since we talked about it, I'll just belabor the point more. The Spirit Tortoise Shield activation. That shit was raw as fuck to me because I was like, how okay, if the Rage Shield's not gonna work, what is going to do it? And the fact to see Os be like, I give my life force, or I sacrifice myself, basically by like letting you kill me, even though you don't want to. Like that whole scene, I was like, yo, this fucked up. But at the same time,
they had the soundtrack playing in the back too.
I was like, damn. But it was such a good like this is the emotional stuff I was talking about that the season was missing, the personal stake.
Yes,
because I was like, this is perfect because we've tale as old as time. You got to kill your friend to kill the bad guy. Like Dragon Ball Z probably is one of people's first like examples of Piccolo getting shot. Well, sorry, Goku getting shot. By Piccolo
to kill Radix. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in order to kill Radix. Yep.
So it was that was just a great scene in general.
No, I 100% agree with you. That moment was it was it. That I was like, yes, this is it. This is like what the kids say, injected into my veins, not James, my veins. I cannot speak today. Injected into my veins. Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. One of my favorite scenes. I think. What do I have? Yes. Anyways, the moment where the Filolo Queen, I can not remember her
Victoria.
name. Do you remember her? Thank you.
Victoria.
Victoria is outside fighting the Spirit Tortoise.
That
Also,
so that
side
was
note
my
for the
other one.
Spirit Tortoise, the Spirit Tortoise instead of CG is back to 2D animation today. But anyways,
It was.
When she's outside fighting the Spirit Tortoise, specifically, there's a moment when they use judgment. The mages use judgment again on the Spirit Tortoise, and they have like a little beam struggle. Another Goku Dragon Ball reference, if you
Was
will.
it the mages? I thought that was
Yes.
her. I thought that was her
No,
herself.
that was the mages. No, that was the mages.
I'm gonna need you to go back and fact check that.
I don't have to. You gonna have to go back and fact check it because that was the mages, sir. Because anyways, because as they're doing that, the mages was like the Queen Melamek. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the Queen.
They all start with Mel. That's all I know.
Yes, she makes a statement that oh man, it's not going to be enough, and then you see Vittoria pulling up like, no, it is enough. You guys did a good job, and then she proceeds to cut off the fucking head.
She dynamic. She also had like a dynamic entry mode because I think she kicked it. Like I think she like kicked through it, and then I was like, okay, well this is just brutal.
But yeah, so basically that scene from Judgment leading to the Vittoria kicking off the head.
I do remember that conversation. I don't remember seeing them cast it. But I don't know. There's a lot of dope shit.
Well, no, you don't necessarily see them cast it, but they cast it.
Okay, all right. I believe it. I just thought that was all her. I was like, Vittoria is broken, and I don't know why.
Now hold up. Now, if Vittoria out here fucking using judgment and shit, put that bitch under jail. Because first of all, what are you doing? You could be a damn guardian beast. Are you not a guardian beast? She could be a guardian beast for all we know.
I think she kind of is, but she knows that she can't. Whatever is coming, she already prophesied that the four heroes have to stop.
And that's another conversation we got to have another day. Is Vittoria a guardian beast? Now that we got,
I don't think she's a guardian beast, but I just think
she a guardian beast.
No, I don't think she's a guardian beast. I think because the guardian beast needs from how the Spirit Tortoise works. It seems like they need.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Just because that's how the Spirit Tortoise work does not necessarily mean that's how all the other guardian beasts work.
Well, I'm just saying, but the reason I'm saying it is because I think they work similar. Is because the book hero knew how to infiltrate one and take over it, and he doesn't have this specific one in his world.
I mean, he could have just did research.
But all I'm saying is like he's familiar with them and was able to take over one in a different world. So in my mind, that just means they work similarly. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think, and I would assume that Vittoria is just a really strong Philolian. Philoliol.
I can pronounce that, but I can't pronounce these other words.
Now for me, that's crazy. Yeah. So I mean, that's just all I'm saying. It's like I just based on the fact that she doesn't work like the other one does is just enough for me to be like, I don't think she is. But like you said, that doesn't necessarily mean we should rule it out altogether.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have any more favorite scenes. Did you have anything else that you wanted to bring up?
I'm gonna bring up another one. When Vittoria first pulls up to the scene, like she just pulls up and just start wrecking shit like that. The intro scene, cool as hell.
Vittoria?
She even did. It's one of the spells that Nafumi uses, where he uses his shield to make platforms and stuff in the air. She has a similar move, but instead of like, of course, shield symbols, it's just some type of
magic circle, I think, or
magic circle that she uses to jump off and stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
So that was dope as well. But yeah, that intro scene was dope as well. And then I'm gonna give it to Risha as well. I mean, I gotta give it to her. I gotta give it to her. She had a little small redemption this episode.
She stopped
even though she didn't fully defeat him. She handled her own enough to make this man make him stop using the gravity magic though. So I mean,
she bossed up.
She did.
Can't get mad at it. Can't get mad. I just need her to stay that way, or we're gonna have problems. That's all I gotta say.
I think now, like after all the stuff that she's been through, of course she's still gonna be kind of like timid and shy, of course, because that's just her, her character. But I think it's not gonna be as much as anymore because she went through a lot of stuff. She just lost a friend. So I mean.
Mm-hmm. Nothing changed you and anime, like losing a friend.
Yeah.
With that all said, I think we're done with that, and we can move into our ratings. And like I said, I got the one this episode. I'm gonna give it. It's a strong. For me, it's like
It's a strong.
it's a seven and a
Uh,
half or an 8. So I'm gonna say it's like a strong 7 or a decent 8. You think it's more?
I think it's at least an 8.
Maybe. So here I'll say this: I'm debating in between, but in a like a 7 and 8, only because I felt like, and maybe it's because the other episodes, or just because I felt like there could have been more, considering it took us so long to get here. I don't know. There was something that felt like we could have gone an extra mile to get the factor, but it delivered. It delivered very well, considering that we were just saying the other 2 episodes were like 5s. So like this did pretty well in my opinion, but I can't. In my head, I don't know why, but I just can't fully give it that 8 just yet. It's just
I'm done.
it's just
I'm
something
gonna
about
give it
it.
to it.
It's just something
Sheer
about it.
Hero, you got my 8. I'm gonna give it to you. This is what I've been waiting on. And then, like McMillian said earlier, we actually finally got that personal stakes for this episode, and we y'all can't say it enough. Y'all finally got one. Y'all just finally got one. This is what we've been waiting on. Hopefully, they can keep this up for the rest of the series. Am I expecting, another episode like this for episode 7? No, not really. Will it be nice if we get it? Of course, hell yeah. But am I expecting it? No.
Yeah, most likely it's gonna
But
be
hopefully,
a
hopefully the next episode is not like the beginning part of the rest of this
no,
series,
hopefully
though,
not.
where it's just a whole bunch of boring dialogue.
We are
If
going,
it is,
but it is.
exposition and stuff, at least make it
Yeah, I was about
interesting.
to say it's gonna be exposition because you're in a different world, but I don't think it's gonna be
Correct.
as bad as episode 1/2 and 3 and 4 and part of 5.
And part of
Sorry, they just went a little bit crazy with that. But
no, I feel you 100%.
hey, that's about it for Shield Hero. You
Yes.
want to take us into
I
Tomodachi?
will. I will. I will. And so we are going to move on to our last anime, everybody, that we have here for
My
today.
favorite shit.
As Billy said, our favorite shit. And for the first time for the spring season, Tomodachi Game is being featured as the final episode of today's
It
episode.
deserved it.
So Tomodachi Game, episode 6, and title, please, McMillian.
I really can't be friends with a murderer.
There we go. All right. And the title says it all.
Says it.
The title says it all. And before we get started, because I'm gonna hand it back off to McMillian, because hopefully his memory is a little bit more better than mine for this summary. Before we start it off, I I know we've been saying Spy Family has been like this premiere like show and whatnot, but because of Spy Family, Tomodachi Game is definitely just flying under the fucking radar right now. Like Spy Family is just straight up just overshadowing this, and it is such a shame. Hopefully, after the spring season ends, once all the Spy Family hype dies down a little bit, people go start watching other spring shows and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and they stumble upon Tomodachi Game and start getting the respect it deserves, because Tomodachi Game is truly a hidden gem for this season, and this episode 6,
Boy,
is the best episode of the series so far.
yeah.
And I want to start off by saying, just like I said in episode 25, I didn't know what was going to happen this episode, and god damn it, I did not know what was going to happen this episode. They completely blew my mind this episode. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it off to McMillian to give us the episode
I'm
summary.
gonna just say at the start of this, only one of my theories was correct, and that's good storytelling right there. That's good storytelling. So we start off this episode with how we left off. Us getting basically the answers we wanted. And so we go step by step, basically breakdown of Yuichi's whole plan. First, his first trap was that he left Shiho a message through his slap, which was crazy.
Correct. So that was basically technically one of the things we theorized with one of our traps. So we're kind of correct about that.
That involved them communicating without like being known. Trap two was the order in which they started. the sessions of the Sugoroku game, Yuichi specifically made it so that Tenji would go first most of the time so that he could pass around notes to the other players to basically like test them for their trust. Be like, hey, write down this, and if you do, I'll trust you, basically, or like this is like your entry fee of me eliminate process of elimination. Which by God, I did. So I knew. I said last episode that I was like, okay, they paid too much attention to Tenji. How long Tenji was in a booth one time, and I was like, that has to be something. I just didn't know it was him passing around notes, taking the papers, and giving it to the people because I was like, holy shit, what? Because he talking out loud would probably be like some type. It would be on tape. They'd be able to roll it back, but this you can't really show him passing paper unless he does it very obviously, and he hit it every time.
My boy is a sleight of hand master.
It's a god. And finally, for our third and final trap,
which just completely threw me off the fucking
ladies and gentlemen, if you guessed this, you're a genius, and you need to go to Harvard. Okay, you need to be solving real world problems because I don't know how the fuck. If you paid attention and you got this, congratulations.
You lie.
Because the third one was so minuscule, I don't know how the fuck. But the third one was he had people give him his name, give them their name tags as insurance to basically be like, hey, if you do this, I definitely know you're not the traitor. Because if I look at this, your debt going up higher. But so by knowing that, they were like, he knew exactly who the traitor was by process of elimination, not only from the second trap, but from the third. This man is a demon.
That is
because I would have never. In my head, I was like, okay, if I was in this situation, would I do this? I would have never thought of the name tag shit.
Never in my life would I have thought about the name tag shit. Like maybe the writing notes on the badmouth cards, maybe that because that ain't too off the wall. But him like when they revealed that the big number 3. He took everybody's name tags and then they started showing different scenes where you see that people actually had their name tags missing and stuff. And I was like, yo, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It was right there in your face the whole time. And I didn't even it's like you said, it's such a small, minute detail, but it's so very important that you could just miss it just like that.
Because I knew the name tags were going to come in at some point, but this early, my dog, insane.
Yes.
So going from there, we were able to also understand why certain things happened the way they did, such as the thing with Shibei revealing himself played a huge part also in Yuichi suspecting Tenji, because he was like, if he was a traitor, there was no way he would have offered himself up for that. We also find out surprisingly
by that moment he's talking about the special chance.
The special chance. Sorry, my bad. I meant to say it, but I'm so excited. We also find out from that though that Shibei apparently didn't know anybody's secrets within the group because he's a blabbermouth, and so they don't tell him anything. And that every Shibei note was him submitting bad stuff about himself because he was trying to help the group out, which I was like, oh.
It's even more crazy that like this, because this also plays into their friendship aspect of it, because I know you mentioned how you want to see more of their friendship and stuff, and because like
they're slowly showing
Tenji knew that Shibei was basically such a talkative person that he did not tell Shibei anything about the plan until the very last round. And even then, when he told him about that at the very last round, Shibei was still acting weird because I thought it was weird that when after Tenji came out the box,
he was
Shibei, he was smiling and shit, and he put his hands on his shoulder. I was like, okay, what you got going on, Shibei? You a little okay, all right. But anyways, but yes, it's. The man is a genius, and you mocked me last episode about my boy being the smartest MC.
He is not.
I'm bringing it back up. I don't care. I'm bringing it back up. I'm bringing it back up. You mocked me last episode for this.
Look, people, he's lost his damn.
But yet my boy just pulls up with this again this episode.
Look, well, I'll give you Ichi. He's on the list of anime MCs you don't fuck with for intellect. He is not greater than like the well known names. Like he good.
It's okay.
I'll wait to see how good
My
because
boy building his case every episode.
he is building a solid case.
He building his case every
He
episode.
building a solid case. But again, the great names. He ain't pulled shit off like that just yet. All right. He done made me see something, but he ain't do the big level shit yet. So I'm gonna give him a moment.
You gonna give him his flowers for this episode?
Give him his flowers. I mean, that's my guy, but I'm gonna give him his flowers. So, moving back to the episode, so don't stand on this too long. So as we get to know the friend group and we get to know the things that Yuichi set traps for, we find out that my third theory was actually a part of the game, but not in the way I thought.
What third theory?
With Yuichi testing out, writing that note that Shibe murdered somebody to basically test out that to see how the game confirms if someone is telling the truth or a lie, if they just have information or not.
Oh, correct.
So I found out. So we find out this episode that was a part of the game, but not a part of the traps. In fact, someone did murder people. It was not Shibe, but in fact our main character Yuichi. And he murdered not one, not two, but 3 people.
He's officially a serial killer.
Officially a serial killer. The moment he lets this go, his friend group almost abandons him immediately. What you think about that?
Listen, if out of all the plot twists I have seen so far this past year, this has got to be one of the best out there. Because there's no way in hell that you could have told me that this was the person that committed murder. To be honest with you, I forgot that badmouth card was even submitted. So when it got brought back up again, I was like, I don't know
how you forgot about this.
I completely forgot that badmouth card was even inputted. And like I said, when they brought that back up and I saw it, I was like, no, don't tell me. Because he walks up to Manabu-kun, he just whispers in his ear, and just Manabu-kun just completely ends the game and stuff like that.
And
that was a lie.
And they go and look it up and they confirm it on the spot. Everybody is shook. Yes. Everybody.
And I was like,
my ass who was like, wait, no, it can't be. It is. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, now I'm just wondering why he did it. Because I'm just like,
yeah, because we always knew he was hiding something, but hiding this though,
insane.
Like insane. I said it last episode. I did not know what to expect.
Now,
and they pulled out
a
major plot twist.
Now, granted, I do like the fact that he did this in advance to be like, all right, Shiho and my friends aren't going to take the fall for this. Mm-hmm. Because he planted the seed. He waited, just like in like the last thing. He was like, I'm not about to take all this debt. I actually planned for this. That was just perfect execution. But
yeah,
a thing I thought was I thought was also cool is that he like played it up to be like, I actually don't care about you guys, so they can like leave with a clear conscience. I was like,
I was just about to say one of the best parts about that reveal right there is you got to see, like you said earlier, you immediately got to see the inner struggle between his friends and how then them trusting him and stuff like that, because you have what is this girl now? I can't remember her name right now, but you have the 2 female characters basically just in disbelief, like, no way, like that can't be right, Yuichi. Like Yuichi didn't kill nobody. Like mm-hmm. they look to Yuichi like, talk to us, Yuichi, like that ain't true, right? Then you just see Yuichi just walking away still slowly, not answering nobody. And then Makoto pulls up. If he kills somebody, I can't. He was just like, I can't believe we've been hanging out with a murderer this entire time. Mm-hmm. And then now you just see the inner struggle between Makoto and Shibe now. Not Shibe, Shiho now. Mm-hmm. And because Shibe is like, not Shibe, Shiho's like, what the fuck you talking about? Don't say that. You don't know what's going on. You don't know why he did that. You don't even know if it's true or not yet. Like, but don't badmouth Yuichi and stuff like that.
And you can even see internally her struggle of like, what should I be a friend in this moment? Should I be saying these
Correct.
things? Like it was
And then I
perfect.
can't. What is her name? And I can't remember her name. But old girl, the other girl,
Yutori.
she just Yutori. Thank you. Yutori is just completely lost in the
Yeah,
sauce right now.
she out here bawling, crying on the ground, just like I want
she is
to go
completely
home.
lost in the
And
sauce.
she's just in disbelief and complete
Yes.
disbelief. But Yuichi stays calm throughout all this, and at first, it almost made me when he was talking bad mouthing his friends for a second. I was like, okay, I don't think you're doing this seriously. I think you're doing this so that your friends can leave with a clear conscience on like.
Yes, and it turns out that's exactly what he was doing it for.
Yeah, but in my head I'm like, okay, they playing this a little bit up too much. If they let it ride for just a little bit, I probably would have fell for it. But they were playing it up so much, I was like, there's no way he's doing like the Sasuke shit where it's like I'm an asshole, but I'm an asshole for a good reason.
I'm not gonna say Sasuke was an asshole for a good reason. That guy was just an asshole.
I'm just saying, like he made it because like the Konoha village was corrupt.
I mean,
which is true.
I get the the similarities you're trying to make, but Sasuke was just.
Oh no, I mean, I completely still yes, but I'm saying like the point of like Sasuke, we know you don't hate Naruto. Like, come on, my dog. Like what like that's what I'm saying. That is the comparison I'm making more so. But yeah. So Yuichi reveals he's a murderer. He's about to take the plunge, but before he goes off by himself, Tenji has one last major reveal, and it's a love confession, and it's for none other than our MC, the Wandon Yuichi.
Yuichi, the man,
the god, honestly,
the legend. With that, okay. Once again, we'll talk about this off camera. With this love confession, I don't think he's telling the truth unless, well, I guess before I say unless, the reason why I don't think he's telling the truth is because we got to see a lot of inner thoughts from Tenji these past few episodes. And, like, of course, like you can lie about stuff that we don't hear about the characters, but when we get into the direct lore from the characters from inside his head, it's almost like hard to lie about that. And so my only unless that I have here is back to the one statement we made a few episodes ago. Tenji makes a statement that he's doing this to get his revenge on Shiho. And our question was, what the hell did Shiho do to you? What is your revenge? And now here it is. So is his revenge getting on Shiho? Is that Shiho was basically quote unquote taking Yuichi away from him?
I think
that is the big question.
I think it's a possibility. Only because if you put it in the context of love, Tenji is a classic yandere. Yandere, that's the word. Because he stalked the girl who was getting close to his love interest. He basically planned a plot to, I don't know if she was gonna die from this, but it was a huge possibility that Shiho could have lost her life in this Tomodachi game. So almost planned to murder, and then made a love confession and kissed him in a like very crazy moment. That's like classic yandere moment. It's usually not a guy, but hey, break stereotypes, Tomodachi Game. Show me.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, listen, I have no problem with it. Like I said, that's the only thing that I can see to where it makes it believable, because we just seen so much information just fed to us directly from Tenji. It just makes it hard to believe
now
that he's telling the truth now.
No, I agree with you on some of it, because the only thing that makes me question on if this is a real love confession is the thing that the game master said at the end of the episode, which right before the credits rolled, which was fucking wild. I love you and I hate you at the same time, Tomodachi Game. Tenji apparently has played this game before. Well, the Tomodachi game before, specifically.
Yes, this is his second Tomodachi game.
I don't know what to make of that. Because in my head, I'm like, does that mean he made it to the end? Or was it like a similar situation with Yuichi where they would not, where someone took on all the debt and made him leave early? Like, what do
now that you bring that up, do you think, because we know Tenji applied to play the Tomodachi game, but now do we think, with that being said, that we found out he actually played one before, was he the person that was actually in debt? Because he could have ended up coming out of
Well,
that first game with debt.
Well, no, I don't think that you are released from the Tomodachi game until your debt is gone.
No,
Well, no,
you are.
no.
You can. They made that clear. You could complete the Tomodachi game and leave here with debt. They made that
Oh,
completely
did they?
clear and on episode 1.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Because I did not remember. I thought the fact was once you have no debt, you basically end up
No, that
leaving
is the goal.
because
Is to hopefully leave this place with no debt. That's the goal.
Because Shiho him and them got to leave technically after they hit 0. So that's why I was like,
well, no, I don't even think Shiho and them totaled out to no debt because they had 4 million. Unless
no, all the
just
debt. Remember,
depends.
all the debt that they would have is transferred to the winner.
That wasn't for this episode. That wasn't for this game.
Yeah, it was. At the end of Battle Mount Sugoroku Sugoroku, he all debt that everyone would have is transferred to whoever crosses whoever crosses. Like,
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that because I don't recall that.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the thing. So that's why I was like, maybe he escaped. Maybe he won and escaped with debt. I mean, if that is the case, or some similar situation happened where he got ejected early. I'm just wondering, will we get to find out the story next episode, or how long are they going to drag this out? And I also wonder, was that a factor in him trying to? And this what makes me think that the love confession might have been a lie, because the thing was, Manabu-kun said that the third game is extremely hard to pass by yourself, and correct. So if he survived this before, maybe that lie about love was also because he couldn't. While he betrayed his friend group, maybe this is a way for him to like redeem himself to people he didn't want to hurt. Because while he might not have be in love with Yuichi, really, he didn't want to see his target was Shiho. So yeah, that lie could be also just to be like, hey, you're an actual friend of mine. I don't want to see you do this. I went through this
by yourself.
I don't want to see you do this by yourself. So yeah. But it's wild. It's wild. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but I mean, also with that, we're going to the third game now. Here, we also could potentially begin introduced to some new characters next episode.
Yes, like the people that keep showing up in the intro. That I'm like, who the fuck are you people? I want answers.
We could potentially get introduced to some new people this episode. But also, what is also another interesting fact, we also with this episode that we went today, that this next game is in fact the final game of the Tomodachi game.
Did they say that?
What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, if not mistaken, yeah.
I don't remember them saying that. If that is true, I don't believe it. Reason because this manga has a lot of reason I think this manga is still ongoing, and if it's not, it seemed like it had a decent amount of volumes, and unless they're skipping shit, this is the fastest adaptation of a series I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Besides, maybe the vampire anime that got announced on Netflix, but I don't even know if that has a manga. So, I don't know if I believe that this is the last game. There's a similar series to this, but not about debt, where these people get like reincarnated into a game, and it's called 5 second battle game, I think, or something like that. And halfway, spoilers if you have not watched this anime, just skip like this small little blurb. At one point in the game, they're like, oh, this is the last one. And they wake up because they got moved to this compound to do this thing. After this game, they got moved back to the real world, which they were like taken from, like kidnapped from. And you're like, oh wow, okay, that's it. All right, cool. And then two of the main characters meet up, and they show like their wrist, and on their wrist is a symbol for the game is still happening. And I was like, well, here we are. And I don't know if it's getting a season 2. I might start reading it. It was a decent watch. I would recommend it, Ace. But yeah, I think if I don't trust it. I don't think this is the last one. Fuck that. No, there's no way.
Okay, and I guess my last question, because the game masters also hinted to this: do you think Tenji has some ulterior motives other than, yes, he didn't want probably Yuichi to go into this game by himself, but do you think he has any other ulterior motives other than that?
He could be. Besides that, he could be Tenji's ally in the fact that Tenji said to the game master straight up, I'm gonna pass this shit by myself, and I'm taking y'all niggas down. That could be the thing. If Tenji survived this game but lost people that were dear to him, because it seems like the Tomodachi game is kind of like this. There's this anime called King's Game where basically people have to do ridiculous shit. It's basically like watching your friends die. If it's like that, Tenji could want revenge. So that could be another reason, another ulterior motive that he does have. It's helping Yuichi.
Somebody, he wants revenge on the game master. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
he had to survive. He had to survive
the first one.
The first one, and that's probably what made him end up transferring schools too. Remember the
Tomodachi game? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying?
Because remember remember that truth about himself that he told, that he's actually older than the group, and he said he had to leave his old school, and it required him to repeat his grade. Mm-hmm. He could have transferred out because whatever happened with his old friend group that probably went into the Tomodachi game with him was so traumatic that he could not stay at that school anymore or something like that.
Hey, that's a good theory. Look at you. Proud of you.
This is what happens
with these theories.
This is what happens when Lelouch, your favorite MC,
oh, here he goes.
Was smart enough to take on the whole. Look, I'm just saying.
Here he go.
Look, I'm just saying. I know my smart niggas. Okay.
Here we go.
With that, our recap is done, and we're gonna move into our dislikes. And I have none.
No. Same here. I don't listen. Like I said it earlier, this is the best episode of the series. Like you mentioned it, when your theories get disproven, it's a good time. Because boy, was I lost. I was lost.
I look, even if I was right, which I was on the second one, it's still good because it just showed me that I was paying attention and I found stuff
to some extent.
Yeah,
yes.
and even with the ones I missed, I was still paying attention, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's smart."
Because I mean, technically, the traps that we pointed out, they weren't necessarily the full traps, but they were like the traps within the traps, if you will. They were
part of the scheme, regardless. But it's just cool to see that, like, even though we weren't 100% there, we were close, and it was rewarding to find out how close we were, as well as shocking to. So I don't got nothing bad to say about this episode. For our favorite scenes,
oh man,
so many to choose from, but I have three.
You got three? You got, oh wow, he got a number.
My first one, Yuichi saying that the safety has been taken off. I don't know if that's his catchphrase, but that shit gave me chills when he was like, "It's up for y'all. It's over with. It's done. Like I'm not playing this like a normal person no more. That's behind me. They're gone. My friends are gone. It's your ass."
That's basically what he said, like word from word, basically what that man said. And like you said, when he said that, because it also got me thinking, okay, we really finna get to see the real not Tenji, the real Yuichi here. If he's out here saying stuff like this, because we already knew he had some type of crazy side to him. Because almost at the end of the episode, he hit that little smile on you. Then you just like, all right, Yuichi, what you hiding on this? We found out what the hell he was hiding on this. In this episode, but we finna get to see the real Yuichi now, and I cannot wait for this next episode to see this man act a fool. Also, I can't wait to see his full reaction to Tenji coming along with him as well.
Yeah, no, that would be good because at the end of the episode, it seemed like they passed out. It's about to be some shit.
Oh yes.
For you, what was yours?
Well, that was I wouldn't say necessarily one of them, but that was a good one. That was a good one. One of my favorite scenes has to be when we get that full reveal of Yuichi basically saying, I am a murderer, and then you just see his friend group just basically break down that whole just little scenario. I don't even know how I'm gonna put this in the episode, but basically that whole scenario where his friend groups were just going back and forth with each other, arguing about should we trust him, we can't trust him, this and that. He's a murderer, no, he's not a murderer. He had to have a reason to do it. You talk to us, Yuichi. I want to go home. I'm just.
That was a good one. The breakdowns were. That was such a good moment because you feel all the emotions from that scene. Yuichi's to all his friend group, except maybe Tenji's because he was already like kind of discounted, but like everybody, to the game masters even, was just like, oh shit, So that was a fucking good scene. My other one Uh, well, it's kind of coupled into yours a bit because it was Yuichi threatening the establishment of the Tomodachi game. If there's anything I love, it's an MC who knows what the problem is and wants to take it out. That
Is that not connected to your first one though? Because is that not when he said he was
so
coming for you when
I
he
don't
when he
I
said
don't
that the
know
brakes is off?
if it is double whammy, people. I just really like that scene. I guess I wrote them down as if they were separate, so that's
My
why.
boy said, "Hey, my boy said these are two things in one." I hear you.
That's why. But I thought. Oh, I thought the safety one was related to his friends. I thought this one specifically is just like fuck
But
y'all.
yes, because
Come through.
like it was related to his friends, but he was like, the safety's off. My friends are no longer here. Then he right after that he was like, "I'm coming for you."
Well, regardless, really good scene. People check it out.
Yes, nonetheless, really good scene. I agree. Since that
I,
you had like a two of one there, what is your third favorite
the
scene?
reaction to Tenji's confession. Look, a series is good when they can blend this dramatic ass shit with some comedy, and that the moment when Tenji said, "I am in love with this man," everybody was like, "Whoa, whoa." What happened? Wait, where are we? This is because I was completely thrown off guard. I was like, because he was like, I have a confession to make. I was never in love with Shio. My true love was Yuichi the whole time. I was like, if I had water on my mouth, I would have spat and be like, "Excuse me."
Yes, and like that scene right there is so wild to me because like I said, it just made me so hard to believe it because like we just been in this man's head for the past 3 episodes, and I'm like, no, sir, you are not in love with him. Where did this come from? Like, okay, well, if this is true, well then fuck it. You got me. I'll be damned. But where did this come
I,
from? We just spent 3 episodes in this man's head. Like,
it
where
sounded
did
like
this
he
come
wanted
from?
revenge on her, and it still could be that. It still could be that he's just a yandere and is crazy about this boy. But like you said, I think it might be a little bit more, even if it is that or something different. But it's something that scene. It's a can of worms that it opened. So good
Yes,
on him.
it opened a lot of can of worms. My last favorite scene is kind of really just a big portion of the episode, if you
Oh
will.
God.
But Yuichi going through the steps of what basically the traps were in his master plan. Because after every single step, I'm just sitting here. Oh snap! Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't think about that,
I
Yuichi.
can't
Get to
fault you for
step
that.
two.
I cannot fault you for that at
Damn.
all.
Okay, Yuichi, you got it. All right. Then we get to step three. No, the fuck you didn't, Yuichi. No, you did. No, you didn't. And then they just start showing the different scenes where he was like, "Yes, he did.
Yes, it is the
Yes, he
fuck
did do this."
it
Like, I'm just, oh man, I'm just like, you know what? Like I said, because I came into this episode not knowing what to expect, and they just delivered. Cause
Truly.
I can't be more proud of this episode right now. Like this, I
Truly.
can I cannot wait for episode 7. I
It's up.
cannot wait.
It's up. It's up. With
I
that,
cannot wait.
I guess we'll move into our ratings. And this should have 9 for me.
I was just about to say it is at least a 9, but do I give it a 10?
This shit is a
I'm
9 for
not
me.
sure, but it's at least a 9.
This shit
Yes,
is
I
a 9 for
agree.
me. Personally, I feel like it could be a 10, but if separating from my emotions, it's a 9. This, I mean, granted, part of me almost wants to knock it down to an 8, but, and it's not this like, because the exposition was perfect. It's just that exposition heavy episodes aren't great, but this one was well deserved. So it's like, that's why I was like, technically, if I combine these last 2 episodes, I'd give it a 10, maybe. But I kind
if
of,
this was a movie, it would be a 10.
if this was a movie, it would be if the last 3 episodes was put together, it slapped 10. But because I guess maybe like the heavy exposition, I gotta bring it down, but I'm not bringing it down lower than a 9. This was great. I felt on like I was on the edge of my seat watching it. I felt
Yes, I completely
surprised.
agree.
I felt validated, even though my theories weren't fully correct. They still played a greater part into the thing. So it was like
Yes,
good on you, Jay, for paying attention. Here's a cookie, and
I agree.
but you don't get the cake because this was the cake,
I
But
agree.
like it was good. I can't. I don't think I'd give it anything less.
I agree. Came into this well once again. I'm giving it a 9. Came into this episode not expecting nothing, and I'm I'm leaving this episode still dumbfounded and not knowing what the hell's going to go on next. Solely because one, how's this man going to react to Tenji being here and to his whole confession? Two, what type of Yuichi are we going to get next episode? Three, what the hell is this next game? What's so dangerous about this next game that it's going to be so hard for one person to complete it? Like, what does the Tomodachi game have up its sleeve? And then four, is it just going to be just Tenji and Yuichi, or are we going to get introduced to some new characters yesterday? It's just a whole bunch of we don't know what's going to happen for this next episode when we already didn't know what's going to happen this episode. Like, I don't know how you build that momentum per episode to per episode like that, going in from this episode to not knowing what happened and still finding out so much stuff, then going to the next episode and still not knowing what the hell's going to happen in the next episode either. Like, the only thing we know is Tenji is Yuichi, and we go into game 3. That's all we know.
That's it. That's all we can. That's all we can know.
That's all we know.
Yeah, no. Tomodachi Game is proven to just be the sleeper hit.
And like this, I'm gonna say this as well. Moments like this and animes like this is what made me so happy that we started doing this podcast here. Because I'm gonna be straight up with you. Had we not been doing this podcast, I probably would not have watched Tomodachi Game at all. Like, I probably wouldn't have watched it. The only way I would find out about it is maybe if I seen people talk about it online and stuff like that.
And right now it doesn't have a lot of traction. And to be fair, you're not in a boat alone, because the reason I started looking into these animes of the new season and stuff like that is because of this. So I'm also just as thankful. Yeah, guys. Tell your friends about Tomodachi Game, please. It needs to be talked about. Yes. Even if it's after the Spy Family hype, just make sure people are watching it.
Yes, please. Just give it a chance. It's not, once again, it's not too often you find these hidden gems every now and then. And when you do, you definitely got to cherish those moments, because there's nothing like stumbling upon a random man's anime and this shit just slaps right out the gate. It's no better feeling than that as an anime watcher, in my opinion, because then now you have a hidden gem you can go take back to your friends, like, I bet you don't know what this is. You watch this shit, I bet you gonna like it. Like, you know how good of a feeling that is when you can give recommendations to your friends. You just like, oh, I know this gonna slap for you, sir, or ma'ams. It's just a good feeling. But once again, that is the end of our weekly episode here. Let us know down below in the comments what you think about episode 6 for these 3 animes. We would love to hear your opinions on this. Also, once again, we are officially now on Facebook, so you can go follow us on there. Also, you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram, for some laughs and stuff, because we do post memes on there. So come laugh with us as well. And you can also, once again, just stay up to date on stuff that we're doing and whatnot, and the plans that we have for the podcast. And McMillian, if you don't have anything else to say, just for generally, you can go ahead and take us on out of here.
All right, guys, as always, appreciate you for watching/listening. If you want to stay up to date with us, you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Gurren Otaku Council, and on Twitter at Gurren Otakus. Like I always say, hope you had a wonderful week. Hope you're enjoying this anime season like we are, and I hope you come out and watch and listen for the next episode. This is the Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned. Peace, guys.